All right, Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivered a historic address at Israel's Knesset. Speaking to a packed house, he condemned the October 7th Hamas attack as a barbaric act of terror and declared that such violence can never be justified. Prime Minister also affirmed India's unwavering support for Israel, while also stressing the importance of dialogue and peace in the region. His speech drew standing ovations with chants of Modi echoing through the chamber. The Prime Minister was also awarded with the Knesset's highest award. Remember, the Prime Minister is a rare world leader who's received top awards from both Israel and Palestine. Prime Minister Modi today will visit the Holocaust Memorial, and which will be followed by the crucial exchange of MOUs and joint statements with the Israeli Prime Minister. Agreements on defense and tech exchanges and framework of FTA and the Hexagon Alliance will be in focus as well.
Our aspirational spirit aligns naturally with Israel's innovation ecosystem. I see a lot of synergies in areas such as quantum technologies, semiconductors, and artificial intelligence. We are also working with Israel on creating cross-border financial linkages using our digital public infrastructure. Honorable members, I mentioned how inspiring we found Israel's agricultural miracle in desert. Israeli expertise in precision irrigation and water management has already transformed agricultural practices in India. Together, we have established 43 centers of excellence across India that have provided training to more than 500,000 farmers. We should now set an ambitious goal to expanding to 100 centers to benefit millions of farmers and fishermen. Honorable members, at the heart of the India-Israel partnership are the ties between our peoples. When I first visited Israel in 2006, there were a handful of yoga centers in Israel. Today, yoga seems to be practiced in almost every neighborhood. I am told that interest in Ayurveda is also growing in Israel. I invite more and more young Israelis to travel to India.
Narendra, my dear friend, I am deeply, deeply moved by your visit here today. Welcome to Jerusalem, my dear friend, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and your distinguished delegation. Welcome to Jerusalem. Prime Minister Modi's personal embrace is something special. It's called the Modi hug. It's well known around the world. And when you hug someone closely, truly, you know it's not an act, it's a real thing. It's called the Modi hug. I said, Narendra, my dear friend, these are not just words. I would almost venture to say, more than a friend, a brother. In many ways, brothers. The alliance between us is an enormous multiplier of our individual powers. Enormous multiplier. We're two ancient civilizations, and we had to go through the voyage of time, the odyssey of time. We're two democracies. You're a gigantic democracy, but Israel is also, think about what we had to do, what we had to go through, and how we maintained our democracy against challenges that I believe few countries, if any, have faced. We are now deepening our deep bond.
Distinguished guests, it is our profound honor to welcome the leader of the world's largest democracy and a leader that defining statesman of our time, the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Narendra Modi. Namaste. For Prime Minister Modi, leadership is not merely the administration of a state, but the inspiration of a nation, a huge nation. Guided by that conviction, he has transformed India. He reshaped the landscape in public health, industry, agriculture, and infrastructure. He ignited a digital revolution and drove historic advances in economic improvement and inclusion. He made India the fastest growing major economy on earth, lifting hundreds of millions of lives. In doing so, he gave new meaning to the words Jai Hind, long live India. In 2017, our guest made history as the first Prime Minister of India to visit Israel. I was honored at Prime Minister Netanyahu's invitation to meet him as a Knesset freshman. Today, it is my great privilege as Speaker of the Knesset to welcome him as the first Prime Minister of India to address the Knesset and to make history once again. Thank you, Prime Minister Modi.
And politics has erupted over Prime Minister Modi's upcoming state visit to Israel. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has sharpened his criticism of Prime Minister Modi's upcoming state visit to Israel, saying that the government is ignoring the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. His remarks add to a growing political storm at home, with the Congress also questioning the timing of this trip and raising tension amid rising tensions in West Asia. Now, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh says displacement in the occupied West Bank is intensified and argues that the Prime Minister's decision to travel now raises serious questions. And all this comes at a time as Prime Minister Modi prepares for high-level engagements in Israel on his second day. The BJP has encountered opposition criticism by highlighting the rare honors extended to Prime Minister Modi by both Israel and Palestine in the past. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has referred to the Gaza Peace Initiative as a UN-backed pathway to a just and durable peace, saying India supports efforts led by wisdom and humanity and remains committed to dialogue and stability in the region.
Peace initiative that was endorsed by the UN Security Council offers a pathway. India has expressed its firm support for the initiative. We believe that it holds the promise of a just and durable peace for all the people of the region, including by addressing the Palestine issue. Let all our efforts be guided by wisdom, courage, and humanity. The road to peace is not always easy, but India joins you and the world for dialogue, peace, and stability in this region. Honorable members, in India, there is a great admiration for Israel's resolve, courage, and achievements. Long before we related to each other as modern states, we were linked by ties that go back more than 2,000 years. The book of Esther refers to India as Hodu. The Talmud records trade with India in ancient times.
All right, for more on this, we have Pallavi live with us. Pallavi, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, Pallavi, with the politics that's broken out back at home and also that very powerful address of the Prime Minister at the Knesset, what's your assessment of India's growing role in West Asia?
Congress, of course, is not very impressed with the Prime Minister's address, and you're already seeing posts which are being put out by, say, a Jairam Ramesh or even a Pawan Khera, and earlier by Priyanka Gandhi Vadra asking this question that why is it that the Prime Minister is not showing any sympathy for all those innocent children and women, to use the words of the Congress party, who have been killed in Gaza area. We saw it inside the parliament also, where Priyanka Vadra was carrying a bag on her shoulder in support of Palestine, and the Congress party has always been critical of foreign policy of this government for not being balanced, for being lopsided and not showing its human side. But the government, of course, has always tried to, because that's how foreign policy works, Aim. You don't choose sides, and certainly not a non-aligned country like India. We don't pick sides. It's not about either or. I'm talking about Russia and Ukraine, for example. We are good friends with Russia, but the Prime Minister and the government has also stood by Ukraine. Similar is the case with Israel. The Prime Minister also made a reference to what has happened to people in the Gaza area. But this is an overseas trip, and as always on an overseas trip, there are those diplomatic nuances which really need to be followed. And that's the criticism of the Congress party, that why do you always have to do it when the Prime Minister is traveling abroad? Because diplomatically speaking, strategically speaking, this leg of the Prime Minister's visit to Israel is very, very significant, while at the same time very sensitive.